In the summer heat of 2013, a quiet South Carolina town would become the center of a case that would shake the entire nation. A married couple, Jeremy and Christine Moody, took it upon themselves to act as judge, jury, and something else. What they did next wasn't just illegal, it was terrifying. This wasn't a robbery. This wasn't about money. This was about what they believed was a mission from above. A mission to eliminate those they felt were unworthy of mercy. But in their quest to cleanse the world, they crossed a line no court, no conscience could ignore. Union County, South Carolina, a small, unassuming place where neighbors usually keep to themselves and life moves at a slower pace. But in July 2013, headlines coming out of this quiet town gripped the entire country. Jeremy Moody, 30, and his wife Christine Moody, 36, weren't your typical suburban couple. Heavily tattooed, outspoken, and living on the fringes of society, Jeremy had a particular disdain for individuals with certain criminal backgrounds, especially those listed on the registry. The couple were affiliated with a fringe white supremacist group, and their beliefs were extreme. But until that summer, their actions hadn't turned deadly. That changed when Jeremy was scrolling through the public offender registry and spotted a name, Charles Parker, a 59-year-old man with a prior conviction related to minors. Jeremy claimed in his own words that he felt called to do something, not by law, not by the courts, but by what he saw as a higher moral authority. But Jeremy wasn't acting alone. His wife Christine shared his mindset and supported the plan. According to court documents and their own testimony, the Moody's devised a simple but sinister scheme. They would pose as good Samaritans offering mechanical help, just a friendly, neighborly visit to fix a car. On July 21, 2013, they pulled up to the Parkers' home under that pretense. Charles Parker was home, and so was his wife, Gretchen Parker, 51 years old. She had no criminal record, no involvement in her husband's past, and by all accounts, lived a quiet life. But once the couple was inside, everything changed. The Moody's ambushed Charles first. The attack was swift and violent. But then, in a deeply tragic twist, they turned on Gretchen as well. She wasn't part of their so-called mission, but she was there. And to Jeremy and Christine, that made her collateral. After the incident, the couple left the scene calmly and went back to their lives, believing they had done something good, that they were soldiers of morality. They even attended church the same evening, but their trail didn't stay cold for long. Authorities quickly uncovered surveillance footage showing the Moody's car at the scene. Tips poured in. When law enforcement confronted the couple, they didn't resist. In fact, they openly confessed. Jeremy admitted to the entire plan and stood by it. "I have no regrets," he told investigators, stating that what he had done to monsters like Charles Parker is not a sin, and that they deserve what they get.
Child molesters do not deserve to live. They got exactly what they deserve. Had to do it over again. More.
Christine echoed the sentiment, telling the court she would do it again if given the chance.
I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity.
Do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
Their trial was swift. The evidence was overwhelming. Surveillance, confessions, physical evidence. But what disturbed the courtroom even more than the crime itself was the complete lack of remorse. Jeremy wore his belief system on his skin quite literally. "God forgives, I don't," inked across his throat. It wasn't just a design. It was a mission statement, a warning.
Your Honor, not a day goes by that I don't regret things that happened. And I know that what I've done is a sin, and I believe that God has forgiven me of it. I want the court to know that I've lost everything that matters to me, my children, my wife, and my family. On the right medication, this would have never happened. Please have mercy on Christine and I so we can still have a chance to grow old together as husband and wife. Thank you.
I'd like to take a moment to read Psalm 69, 1-20. Save me, O God, for the waters are come into my soul. I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. I come into deep waters where the floods are flowing. I am weary of my crying, my throat is dry. The Bible clearly states, "Thou shalt not kill." I am sorry I broke that commandment. but I truly believe God has forgiven Jeremy and I. I hope you will too. Our preacher has taught me a lot, one of those things being that mercy will show up. I am here today to beg for mercy for my loving husband and myself, so Jeremy and I will have an opportunity to grow old together and spend time with our children, and God willing, our grandchildren. I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity.
Do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
What about not being able to see Jeremy?
Jeremy and I have a love that will withstand this.
What about what you said in court about repenting? Is that not true then?
No, it's not true. My lawyer made me say it.
Do you have anything to say to the victim's family?
May they die also.
The court, however, had its own message. Both Jeremy and Christine Moody were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of release. The judge, in handing down the sentence, made it clear, no matter how deep your personal beliefs run, no one has the right to decide who lives or who doesn't, especially when an innocent life, like Gretchen Parker's, is caught in the crossfire.
There's no question about it. They had a plan, premeditated plan, and they carried it out. They brutally killed these two people. These two people, they had nothing, no way to defend themselves or anything else. And I tell you that I believe that if these two were to get out of jail, I would be concerned that they would do exactly the same thing to him. I don't have any question about it. And so I would be very concerned if they ever got out of prison again, that they would kill some other innocent people out there because they didn't like them for their own reasons. But I think it is a case that justice demands a life sentence. I would ask that the victim's family be allowed to leave the room. Thank you, Your Honor.
Hurts later. That's what child molesters get.
The Jeremy and Christine Moody case is a reminder of what happens when ideology replaces law and when personal conviction becomes more important than due process. Some call them vigilantes, others call them something else. But no matter the label, one fact remains. When people decide to become executioners based on what they believe is right, justice turns into chaos, and innocent people pay the price.
It made me mad. They were laughing about what they did. Took someone's life the way they did it. Nobody should die like that. Nobody.
Do you think personal beliefs should ever justify taking matters into your own hands? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love true crime stories like this one, click the next video on your screen.